Hello there. In this tutorial we're going to be covering how to install the Pterodactyl game panel and the Wings theme for it using the documentation provided by themselves. Okay, so you're going to need a Linux machine running CentOS, Debian or Ubuntu. So if you head to documentation, go to getting started, you can see the supported OSs. So in this example, I'm going to be using Debian 10. However, the commands I use will be compatible with Ubuntu 20.04. Okay, so I'm going to go to Community Guides and Debian 10. You can follow along exactly with this, but it's going to be the same process. Commands work. So split screen, and we're going to get updates first. Okay, right, and then we can install MariaDB. While that is installing, we're also going to get the next command down. So starting and enabling the MariaDB service. Okay, now that's done. Okay, gonna run the update command once again. And we're gonna run the install command for PHP 7.4. Okay, so let me quickly grab a command. So, give me in one of my files somewhere. Somewhere in the Blue Moon. Visual Studio Code. Definitely be in there. Right, so 1 second. I'll put this command in the description below, so you'll be fine with it. So it's gonna be. I'll put. Yeah. So we're gonna run a few commands. I'll put this in the description below. If you're using Debian, you do need to install sudo. Oops. Okay. And then PHP. And we're gonna run the update command again. And then we're gonna install PHP 7.4. There we go. Okay, I will list those commands in the description, the ones that you need to run to get it working. Now, while this to install, I do offer Pterodactyl installs for a small fee. It wouldn't take me too long to install. I would say a maximum of 30 minutes. If everything goes as correctly, I can get the panel and wings installed for you. As long as everything does go right, I can get it installed, depending on the machine. On Oxido hosted machines, I can get them installed within 5 minutes. That's with everything set up. So if you're interested in that, I'll put my Discord in the description as well, if you wish to contact me. Anyways, we're going to be installing nginx now, which is our web server of choice. Then we're going to be installing redis-server. So this is what the panel will use for its cache driver. We are going to need certbot as well, so that we can secure the panel installation. And we need also composer, so the panel can work. Okay. We do not really need to secure mysql. It is not required. However, we can just quickly secure it, just so it is secure. So there's no current root password. We are going to set the root password. So let's go to password generator. And we're going to set a random 8-digit character. And we're going to generate it. Just set that. I'm going to set that. And make sure you save this password somewhere, okay? Because we're going to need to use that password later on. There you go. Thanks for using MariaDB. So we're done. We can follow that guide in a couple minutes, but first we're going to continue enabling PHP. Okay. Right, here we have our nginx configuration. So we're going to do nano /etc /nginx /sites -available. Oops. /pterodactyl.conf. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this in, okay? We're going to paste it, and we're going to edit this file. So the server name, we're going to change it from this to our chosen domain. So in this case, it is video.jackoxy.systems for me. For you, it'll be different, whatever you set your host name to. And again, video.jackoxy.systems. Okay. And we're going to need to change it down here as well on the SSL configuration area. So video.jackoxy.systems. Okay, and then again on the next line down, video.jackoxy.systems. Okay. Exit the file, save the file, and we're done there. Okay. So now put it back to split screen and back again. There we go. Okay. Now we can head back to the official panel installation. So we're going to follow these steps. So just create and go into the directory where the panel is located, and we're going to install all the files needed. Okay, that's that. So this is grabbing the files, unzipping the files, and setting the permissions for directories. Here we're going to copy the env file, okay, and we're going to run the composer installation. Press enter so it'll continue. Okay, right. So now we're going to set up MySQL. So we're going to log in with the root account and use the password that we set earlier. Now we're in. We're going to use MySQL, and we're going to create a new user. And we're going to identify it by some password. Change that password to a secure password, and copy it and paste it in. Okay, right. We're going to create a database called panel, and we're going to grant the Pterodactyl panel privileges, all the privileges it needs, and we're going to then flush those privileges. Okay, and then we're going to type exit to exit out of there. Now that's set up, you can run this command here. Okay, application key has been set. This is so the database is secure when the panel accesses the database. So we're going to set an email. For me, this is just going to be jack@jackoxy.systems. Application URL. So earlier, so it's going to be https:// Make sure it is https:// because we will be using an SSL certificate for this, and we're going to do using the hostname that we set earlier. So video.jackoxy.systems. Click enter. Now choose your time zone, what's close to you. So in my case, Europe, London. That's my closest time zone. I say closest, that is my time zone. Do not choose file system. File system is depreciated, and the developers were meant to remove it. That should be removed for the next update. So do not use file system, use Redis. Okay. Test and driver. Also, you can continue to use MySQL database, and yes. So the Redis host, local host, that's fine. There's no passwords. Leave it as a default port, and we are done there. Now we can set up the database. So leave it as that. You can press enter. You can press enter here as well. You can press enter here as well, and also here, as long as you didn't change the username here. Click enter again, and then use the password what we set earlier. And then if you did something wrong, it would error there, but it looks like everything's been set correctly. If you have a mail server, you can set up there. However, in this tutorial, I will not show you how to set that up. Now here we're going to migrate all the information to the database. So currently migrating. Okay, now that's done, we can create a user to log into the panel. Put yes, this user is an administrator. Put an email address. Put a username. Put your first name, your last name if you want, and then a password. So a secure password. Let's just again generate a random password. Paste that in. Okay. Right, now that's set. The user has been created. So we're going to set the permissions as stated there. We're not on CentOS, so we can just use the top one. And here we're going to be setting up the cron tab. Choose nano, and then add this, and save it. Now we're going to need to create a queue worker. So type nano, paste in this here, etc/systemmd/system, and then copy this as well. Put a slash here, paste that, and click enter. So pet.service, and we're going to copy all of this, okay, into this file. Going to exit and save as we do it. Now, here we should be able to enable the redis-server and also enable the Pterodactyl service. Okay, so now we're going to go into the web server configuration. Now earlier we actually already did this, or we already set all this up here, so there's no need to look at this really. We do need to create an SSL certificate. So what we're going to do is we've already installed certbot, however we're just going to run this again. This is a more specific version of it. So in this here we can set it up. So we're going to use this an example again, and we're going to do video.jackoxy.systems. You put your domain name in, and you're gonna click enter. Okay. Now put an email in. So in this example, I'm just going to put spam@jackoxy.systems. Put an email in, but you will check, because this will email you when your domain certificate is about to expire. I spelled spam wrong. Agree to the terms of service. Make sure you read that. And I am not willing to share my email address for anything like that. There we go, congratulations, the certificate has been created. Now, if you do not use this one, and instead you use this one, make sure you stop the nginx service. Otherwise, it will error out saying that the port is already in use. That will be nginx using it. So stop it, run this, and then start the nginx service. Okay, right. Now we can enable the Pterodactyl configuration we made earlier, and restart nginx. Now, if we head to that, so I'll just copy it from here quickly and paste. As you can see, the panel is online and ready to go. So we can just put Jack, and we can paste in the password we set earlier. Here we go. Log in. We've logged in now. Perfect, just what we needed to see. So now go back to the docs and go to the Wings installation. So we're going to be installing Docker here. Well, actually go to the community guide, sorry, and then go to Debian 10. So here we're going to be installing Docker. Copy the commands. So here we're just installing some extra dependencies so it all works correctly. And in the meantime, while waiting for that, go back to the panel and go to the set settings icon. Then you can go to locations and create new. Create a location. For example, this can just be set as US01 as that's where it is located, and we can set just again US01 here. Go to the nodes, create new, and give it a name. So again, US01 is fine, US01 is fine. You can put video.jackoxy systems. Okay. Now we need to find out total memory we have and this space. This will be given by your hosting provider, so please check with them. However, I personally do suggest Octane Hosting again because that's who I'm using for this tutorial, and their services are quick. I have installed Pterodactyl on other providers, and it does take a long time. However, Octane Hosting doesn't take long at all. So in this case, we're using a VPS Classic XS, so 2 GB and 32 GB of storage. So in this case, we're going to do, we've got the calculator, okay, and we're going to do 32 times 1024, whoops, equals 32,768. Going to get rid of the comma. I'm going to set this allocation to 0. Okay. Everything else can be left as it is, and click Create Node. Okay, perfect. Now we've done that, as we can see, it's finished installing those dependencies. So you can run this. Run the Docker, install the Docker stable repository, and run any updates and install Docker. Again, whilst we're installing Docker, we need to assign an IP address. So we need to use the IP address of our machine. In this case, it will be located here. Use the IP address there, and paste that in. You can give it an IP alias if you want. So video2.jackoxy systems, if you wish, something like that. You don't need an IP alias, however, it just kind of makes it look nice. So in this case, we can do 25565 to 25570, which will create 5 IP addresses. Sorry, 5 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, 6. Okay, we're going to start now. We can go back and go to documentation. We can start and enable Docker. And now we can type cd to leave the directory. We didn't need to be in there anymore. However, now we're out. So, installing Wings. We do not need to really look at this because we've got Docker already enabled. And unless you've got swap, then don't run this. However, here we go. So here we can install Wings. So run the commands there. So this makes the directory, installs the data from there into the directory, and sets the directory permissions. Okay, now we're going to head to the panel, back to the panel, go to configuration and generate token. I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, so now it's successfully configured Wings for us. We're going to run this command, and we're going to have a look to see if it works. What we're looking for is a green heartbeat in a minute. There we go, green heartbeat. The panel has successfully made a connection to Wings. We can exit that with Control-C, and we're going to make it a service. So, nano, paste that in, and then / Wings.service. Okay, copy and paste that, save the file, and you can now enable Wings. That will also start the Wings service, and you'll see it's again online and ready to work. I will not be showing you how to make a database either. However, if you do want databases, etc., and it all installed for you, I can run that for you and it will all be installed. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and have a great rest of your day.